Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to this video. And I want to share you a message today that I have received from God. And we all have experienced tremendous impact of disasters from 2019 even till today. From June of 2019 to May of 2020, Australian bushfires killed at least 478 people. And the fire has killed or displaced nearly 3 billion animals. When I first heard this number, I was very surprised. That's the first time I knew that there are actually so many animals in the land of Australia. The whole human population in the whole world in 2020 is 7.8 billion. And in Australia alone, just the fire killed or displaced 3 billion animals. And then the fire has destroyed more than 9,000 buildings, including homes, and about more than 46 million acres of land has been burned. And the cost is over 103 billion Australian dollars. That's a huge disaster human being has experienced in history. And in 2019, another disaster, the locust has swarmed in large numbers in many countries, including Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Somalia, India, Pakistan, and many other countries. More than 23 countries has been influenced by this locust plague. And just in Kenya alone, there are 172,000 acres of land has been infested. And there are 20.2 million people facing severe acute food insecurity in Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Uganda, and the United Republic of Tanzania. So these are just partial numbers that just tell us how bad the plague has been. And of course, we all have experienced the impact of COVID-19. I remember during COVID, during the lockdown, we were so worried that there would be short of a supply of many things. And it happened. It started with the disinfect wipes, hand sanitizer, and then toilet paper, and then even food, and even meat. We had such a scare that we can run out of those supplies because of the pandemic. And I remember we stock up on many things in our basement, including water. And we thought about it might be a possibility the power may go out. And then we stock up a few cans of fuels to cook and to cook water to warm up the house. So, and not mention COVID-19 has killed so many people, had taken away so many lives too early from us. And it's just very, very sad. And then on top of that, there have been also man-made disasters. In the beginning of 2019, there's a protest starting in Hong Kong to protest against the extradition bill from mainland China government. And it started with a protest, but it ended up with a riot. And this riot has brought mass destruction of Hong Kong people's daily life. And yes, China government has given up the extradition bill, but because of the riot, because of the turbulence for so many months, and China government issued national security law to Hong Kong, and Hong Kong actually eventually accepted this national security law in June of 2020. And in the US, May of 2020, that's the peak of a pandemic. And we experienced a very inhuman police practice against Black people, and people went on the street to protest, and that's definitely the right thing to do. But this protest also has brought looting and vandalism. So I remember during that time, we were all locked down in the home and feel lonely and isolated. And I heard the news talking about how people on the street destroying things and the people hurting people. I just feel so sad. I feel so sad. So what should we do? I mean, it just feels the whole sky is darkened, is dark. And all these disasters, and there are many other natural disasters, just like a November 2020 hurricane killed at least 150 people in Central America. There are lists of natural disaster has happened during that time period. And all these disasters, it seems that God is speaking through all these disasters. I clearly heard God speaking that you, my followers, that you should do what you are capable of. And because the end day is coming, the end day is coming, and you should do what you are capable of to bring my lost children home. I clearly heard God talk to me that, and I asked God, what can I do? I've tried for many years, and I was mentoring a group of young Chinese professionals, and I was able to bring them to God. But because I was just myself, or even with a couple of other friends, a couple of other sisters and brothers, and what we could have done, what we can do is limited. What can I do? And the message is clear that share your experience, encourage more people to join you to do this mission. And it is true that I have seen the need of a Chinese believing God is great. I have seen that for many years. And in recent years, actually the need is greater, has grown, because everybody know that China has experienced tremendous economic booming for the last 30 years. And I was one of them. I was able to progress my career and gain myself a great life. And many people like me, middle class in China, have risen. And this group of people, we have gained a stable life economical wise, but many of us actually does not necessarily have more happiness than our past generation, our last generation. And that truly makes us ask the question, what's the meaning of life? Where can I find true happiness of life? A lot of Chinese, especially professionals, start to ask this question. This trend started several years ago. And then like a Buddhism, like ancient Chinese wisdoms, they all come back to the stage, draw people's attention. More and more people are seeking life meaning. More and more people are learning Buddhism, are learning ancient Chinese wisdoms in China. So I do see that opportunity. That's the opportunity. People's minds are open. They are seeking. They are seeking. And here is our opportunity to bring them to God. So I do see the need is increasing. So that's why, that's what I have seen. And that's what God asking me to do, to share the message, to deliver the message. I became a Christian in 2008 in China. And then when I came to United States, my faith deepened. And I wrote the book first in Chinese because I just want to share my experience with God, and I want to share that experience with my Chinese loved ones, friends, colleagues, trying to share with them, trying to help them to find the truth of life. And I first wrote that book in 2012. And I actually, after that, I gave the book for free to my Chinese friends, the Chinese version. I got a lot of great feedback, especially from colleagues and friends, the white collar friends, because whatever I wrote from my mind probably can relate to them much better than can relate to other group of people. And then I have never thought about I'm gonna translate this book or revise this book into an English version, because there's no need. This book is for Chinese. There's no need. But during the pandemic, during the year of 2019, during the year of 2020, God has commanded me to translate this book, or to have to revise it, to revise this book into a English version. And this book name is Where Are Chinese Heading After COVID-19? And this book will be available on Amazon soon, this week or next. Today is the September 22nd. So it will be in this week or next week. The reason I had a conversation with God, why should I translate this book? And a lot of the things I wrote in this book regarding faith, regarding Christian faith, American brothers and sisters, they already know, why should I write this book? But then I understand why God has shared with me why. Because in this book, because the way I talk in this book is like talking to my Chinese friends. So it contains a lot of a Chinese culture, workplace culture in general, and the motivation, what the professional cares the most, like a career success in this book. So I start a conversation from what they care the most, from what they know, and then I change and I steer the wheel towards God. So there's a connection. That's the key there. The connection, how I connect what they care about, what they know to Christian faith. So that's the valuable part of this book. And if you are interested in reading a book, it can take a lot of hours. You are totally welcome to buy. And if you don't have so much time, and that's the purpose, that's the reason I made this video. I make a presentation video, make all the key points clear in a presentation. So even sometimes when you read a book, you can get lost in so much content. So I make a presentation so people can easier can understand my point of view easier. That's the purpose of this video. In this video, I will share with you the method that I have used to bring Chinese professionals to God. And there's definitely a specific group I focus on, Chinese professional. And this group of people, just like I shared with you, first, they are relatively economically more stable, and they actually are, their minds are open, they are seeking the meaning of life. And second, they are well educated, and more and more of them, a lot of them, more and more of them can speak and understand English. So that makes it much easier for Westerners, for Americans to communicate with them, to associate with them. So this is a special group of people I want to work on. And a little bit background about myself. I have a software degree of my bachelor degree, and I almost became a software engineer. But then I figured out I'm more interested in people, dealing with people, than software and coding. So I changed my career to human resources. Then I obtained a master's degree of applied psychology in human resources from Peking University. That's one of the best university in China. And then came to the United States because of my interest, my love, my passion for HR, for human resources. I also obtained the senior human resource professional certificate from HRCI. A certificate organization has been here for many years to certify people's ability and knowledge in human resources. So for myself, I had a job, and then I lost my job during the pandemic. And at the same time, I had my first son My son was born in July of 2020. And then that was the time after my son was born, I started to translate and revise this book into English. So for the past year, I need to work on the newborn. I need to work on the new book, and also experience the isolation, the stress, the distress of all the situation has brought. So the past year has been very difficult for me, very difficult, but it's totally worth it, really. It's for God's work. It's for God's work, no matter regarding the newborn son, regarding the book, regarding the mission I'm on. All the things are God's will. That's His exercise for me. He's trying to show me my own weakness. I've seen my own weakness during the whole process, and He's trying to make me stronger through the process too. And I'm definitely much stronger now than 1 year ago. So I want to share with you this video, and truly, I have admired America as a country for so many years. And that's definitely one reason I came to United States. And after I stayed here for many years, I enjoy the life here. And I also see the opportunity. I also see the opportunity for us to do God's work. I love American sports, baseball, football, and those are good pastime for people. And I just want to share you that there's another opportunity, there's another thing we can do in our spare time, and then that's your choice. That's your choice. What you want to do, what you want to spend your spare time to do. That's your conversation with God. And I want to share with you this opportunity that you can do in your spare time. And if you are called for this mission, the mission to bring Chinese people to God. As we know, China is a country with a huge population. We have 1.4 billion right now, more than 1.4 billion people. And then the middle class, the white collars, they are rising, and they are the influencing power of China now and in the near future too. So I want to introduce you this opportunity that you can influence this most influential group in China. And you can do the evangelism work right from the comfort of your home, from in front of your desk, just like I'm doing right now. And one of the good things the pandemic has brought is people are getting much used to video conference, to use tools like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And this is the good thing come out of the pandemic, and that make it easier for us to build that relationships through this kind of a video talk, video conversation. So I want to introduce you this opportunity that if you are interested in working Chinese, working on Chinese, and you have this opportunity to associate with Chinese professionals in many different aspects and help them with different life challenges. And through that process, you can introduce Bible to them. You can bring them to God. All right, let's jump right into the video. And welcome to the next video. And that will be the beginning. I started to talk about all these points on all these methods, how to bring Chinese professional to God. Thank you very much. I truly hope that I can get opportunity to work with you in the future. That will make me very, very, very joyful. Thank you.